Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 25 updates and spoilers. Lammy is going nuts right now because there is a fly in the room. Now I'm distracted. Hope everybody's having a happy Labor Day today and enjoying some rest and relaxation. I've been working on this dumpster fire all day. So here we are. I thank you for joining us. Our house guests of the day are Donnie Greenwell and Bruce Mollenhoff. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you. We appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla. And I also want to thank our super chatters from Saturday because that's another fantastic way to support us and our channel. So Mary Ellen L, Angela H, Gail Murphy Comedy, Janine Honberger, Christine, Dan Barry, Nancy Wilt, Autumn Pond, Angela H, Phil D, Anita Nestler, Jennifer Feely, Bori Bonita, and Anita Starr. Thank you all so much for your super chats. I think Bori Bonita and Anita Starr, you guys, your super chats came in after we ended our stream the other day, but we want to thank you so much because we really appreciate it. Okay. This weekend was crazy. It was a real roller coaster ride. So when we left off the other day, it was chaos, madness in the Big Brother house. I mean, it has been for much of the season, right? So Red and Cameron were up on the block. Cameron was the target, but they were trying to make him think that it was Red so he wouldn't fight as hard for the power of veto, right? Clearly, that didn't matter, right? All their acting did not pay off because Cameron won the power of veto. It was the tiny veto with the tweezers. You got to like stack stuff. I mean, I know it was a tiny veto. I'm assuming it was a stacking thing. We've never had a tiny veto that wasn't stacking little objects, right? I don't know. I can't even think anymore. But yeah, Cameron won the veto. So Jared was pissed that his target won the POV. And remember, going into the POV comp, Jared had said that America would be the replacement nominee if one of the noms was coming down. And he was all in a freaking tizzy thinking that America was going to throw the power veto competition. Remember that whole thing? But lots of the house guests have lots of different ideas about who the replacement nominee should be. You would think that Red would just become the new target now that it can't be Cameron anymore. You know, just split up the Chillbillies / Beard Bros. But no. This is BB25, so it's not that simple. There is a lot of sympathy for Red. They don't want to send him home on his birthday week. It's so terrible. We can't do it. Really? It seems like a bit of an exaggeration to me, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, Felicia wasted no time pitching to Cameron that he should use the power veto on Red instead of himself. And she's like, oh yeah, you know, it's Red's birthday week. He's having a really tough time. He's really sad. So this would cheer him up if you use the veto on him. Also, like, Jag will go up in his place and we'll vote Jag out 10-0. So it's just like your HOH last week, right? But then they would really vote out Cameron. Needless to say, Cameron said no. Duh. So Cameron said, no, like, I'm going to use it on myself. America will be going up against Red, and the Legend 25 Alliance will have the votes to keep Red. We'll have the votes to keep him against anybody that goes up next to him. So then Felicia reported this back to Jag, America, and Mimi, and in the process, accidentally spilled about the Legend 25 Alliance. She called it the Legend 8. So Jag and America did take note of that. They noticed that Felicia slipped up there and mentioned an alliance with Red and Cameron. So they were definitely keeping that in their back pocket. Also, Felicia, she's been sloppy these last few days. She has given out a lot of information. She's being too much with people, and her allies are definitely not happy about it. So she might be creeping up on some target lists a little bit, not like anywhere near the top, but definitely higher than she was before. We also saw Sari was suggesting Jag as a possible renom. He's been doing the most since he was saved by Matt's power of invincibility. He's digging too much into what happened with the votes. His gameplay is all over the place, right? He's trying to start alliances with tons of people, and he's doing a lot. And I will say, if you're going to do all this, wait until after the power veto ceremony, right? Don't be doing this before. There's a chance you're going to dig your own grave here. So yeah, that was all from last time. Now, before we continue and get into the new stuff, I just have to say I am super, super disappointed that Jared was not removed from the game after his use of the R word. Clearly, Big Brother does not really have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to hate speech, and it's a very upsetting double standard. There has been a lot of discourse on the topic, and I want to thank all of you guys who have been keeping it respectful in the comments. Some people did not, but the majority have been. But I just want to make something clear here. The R word is offensive. It is a slur. And I know that it was used in the past as a medical term, but it has a different connotation now. It is hurtful. And even if it doesn't personally offend you, it does offend people that are neurodivergent, people with disabilities, family and friends of people with disabilities, caregivers, advocates for people with disabilities. So the reason that this is so upsetting is just it's exhausting to constantly see this community get the short end of the stick, right? Just have things like this brushed over and ignored. So I'm sorry if this feels like a lecture right now, but there's just clearly a lot of ignorance still surrounding this topic. So I wanted to put my thoughts out there. All right. Moving on. Cirie, Izzy, Mimi, and Felicia are all discussing the replacement nominee. And Cirie and Izzy are pushing for Jag to go up, right? What's Matt going to say, though? Isn't Matt going to be upset after he just used his power to save Jag? Plus, Cirie, Jag, and Matt have a newly formed, yet to be named, 3-person alliance. Awkward, right? Cirie is trying to get rid of Jag now. I don't think Matt's going to be happy about that. So Cirie feels like Jag is still caught up on being voted out 10-0 last week. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to get over that, right? But he is not handling it well. He should be doing this, again, after the POV ceremony. But Cirie's like, Jag knows, obviously, that we wanted him out last week. It's going to be hard for him to overlook that moving forward. So she also brings up Jag is a much more well-rounded competitor than Red. There is a greater chance that he is going to win something and target Cirie and her group. So Izzy's like, yeah, also if Red stays, he might target Cameron now since Cameron betrayed him this week. I mean, I don't know about that. Sure, these two are not in a good place right now, Red and Cameron, but like Red sees himself, not necessarily is, but sees himself as Mr. Integrity, right? So while Red may not be working with Cameron moving forward, I don't think Red would directly put Cameron up on the block. I just don't know that I see him doing that. Now, I could be wrong about that, but I feel like it's a long shot. So Felicia and Mimi seem really skeptical about Jag being the best target for this week. But don't worry, because there's going to be a crap ton of conversations about it. All right. In other news, Corey decided it was time to share his secret with a few more people. We already saw that he shared with America, right? And she, in turn, shared that she went to Brown. So now it's time for him to tell a few more people that he's a mathematician. Just kidding, Bronte. No, he was telling about his secret that his brother was on Survivor. So he told Izzy, yeah, my brother was the first boot on Survivor 42. He's trying to gain some trust here, make sure he's solid with Izzy, Cirie, and Jared, right? So Izzy's response was like, wow, cool. It was pretty much a non-event. He also told Jared was acting clueless about Survivor, of course. He told Cirie, I don't think this one was on feeds. I didn't see a timestamp anywhere for that. So I'm pretty sure he told her, but it was not shown on the feeds. Or maybe I just missed it. But anyway, yeah, Corey's secret reveal, not really a big deal. It doesn't really affect the game here at all. Okay. So then Jared and Blue chat about the replacement nominee in the HOH room. And Jared says, I am completely done with Jag and America. I don't trust either of them. He's telling Blue, you need to be careful with them, right? And you need to probably not trust them as well. So Jared is saying he wants to talk to Red and he wants to see what's up. Because before the POV competition, Red was basically saying he would fall on his sword so that Cameron could stay in this game. Oh my God. Like he would just be like, vote me out. I can't be here anymore, so that Cameron could stay. He was also saying if he won the veto, he would use it on Cameron instead of himself. That's a lot. That's a bit much. So Jared says, I got to check in with Red. If he still wants to go, I can help make that happen, right? I can put up somebody that will be safe against him. But if not, Jared is saying he wants either Jag or America up on the block and out of here. So, yay, two of Blue's closest allies. I'm sure she was thrilled to hear that. So after getting a heads up from Corey that she's one of the top contenders for America's Next Top replacement nominee, America goes to the HOH room to chat with Jared and Blue. So America says, I need to tell you guys something. I walked in on Sari, Felicia, and Mimi talking about me being the replacement nominee, and they were like counting up the votes. Yikes, that's not a nice thing to walk in on. So America's like, I'm really not sure why my name is coming up so much. And she's telling Jared, I have your back. I'm a competitor, and I don't understand why so many people think that I'm working with Cameron. She says, I cannot stand Cameron. I mean, really, she's told so many people now about how much Cameron creeps her out and makes her feel uncomfortable. He makes sexual comments about her. He's always talking about her and Corey together. It's very weird and gross and not okay. So, yeah. And on a game level, America says Cameron has been throwing me under the bus. Why do people think that I'm working with him? So Jared's like, oh, well, I think people think that you would be the most likely to repair your relationship with Cameron. Really? More than like Red? More than Bowie? It just doesn't make sense. So America's like, hell nah. She says she and Cameron have never even really talked game. He's always super vague with her. He speaks in riddles. So also, hello, Cameron is besties with Red and Bowie, not America. Cameron, Red, Bowie, those three were always hanging out together in the HOH room when Cameron was HOH. So Jared asks Blue to leave so that he and America can talk alone. And later in the conversation, Jared admits he has been considering putting up America, but he is now leaning more towards nominating Jag. So he brings up, he does think that America's been throwing competitions. This was the whole tirade that he went on before the POV comp, the argument that he had with Corey. So, yeah, Jared tells America, look, if we're going to be in a crew, I need to know that you're going hard in the comps, and I need to be able to feel good if you win. She was in the pressure cooker for 14 hours. What more do you want from her? She's not throwing all the comps. So America's like, I'm sorry that I haven't won yet. I've been trying really hard in these competitions. So Jared advises America, you should probably talk to the people that you overheard talking about putting you up. So Sari, Felicia, Mimi, check in with them and make sure everything's all good. Jared doesn't have a problem with people like Matt throwing competitions, and I'm pretty sure Matt has told everyone he's been throwing stuff. Like, okay. Anyway, a little later, Sari checks in with Jared, and Sari lets Jared know that she is now thinking that Bowie should go up as a pawn, and they should all vote out Red. So now different replacement nominee and different target, right? Now she's saying Red needs to go. So Jared is on board with this immediately. Yes, mommy. Let's be real here. Sari is calling the shots on what's happening with Jared's HOH. So not long after Jared gets his instructions, he lets America know, all right, you're good this week. You don't have to worry. You're in with the group. Like, chill. And the group that I'm referring to is the For Real Alliance of 7, right? Jared, Blue, Jag, Matt, Sari, Felicia, and Izzy. Wait, did I say America? She's in that, isn't she? No, she's not in For Real. Never mind. I'm thinking of the wrong one. Wait, isn't she in For Real? No. She's in something else with them. I can't even think of the name anymore. She's in something. Oops. Okay. So, no, she isn't For Real. She's number 7. No. Yes. Okay, I just listed 7 deadly sins. That's the wrong one. She's in For Real. So For Real is Cirie, Izzy, Felicia, Jared, Nicole, Corey, and America. Okay, not the other one. The other one's 7 deadly sins. Forget that. Okay, so anyway, I can't keep all this shit straight. Jared has a game chat with Blue and Matt. And Blue says, if America were to win HOH next week, she would put up Cameron and Bowie, which is what they want, right? They want Cameron out here. And Blue says, I can't say the same for Red. He would definitely put up people from the 7 deadly sins. Even if he was going to go against Cameron and put him up, he'd still have to choose another nominee, and it's not going to be Bowie. So that is definitely a concern. Now, we know that Blue has been saying that she wants to work with America, and she's been bonding with her the last week or so. However, Blue is like all over the place right now. She's throwing her allies under the bus left and right, and then also like wanting to work with them. It's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. This whole cast is very messy. So at this point, she is trying to protect America, but they're not sure that Bowie would be the best option to be the pawn next to Red, right? That's what Cirie is saying she wants at this time, but they don't know if that's a good idea because they feel like Bowie is going to be pissed if she goes up on the block. So Jared's like, I don't want to create more enemies for myself by putting Bowie up. Since when is he so scared of Bowie? And since when has she been like a threat in competitions? Like what? So Blue is like, all right, I see what you're saying. I think it would be best if we put up someone who trusts you, Jared, right? Because then they won't be coming after you. They know that they're the pawn, whatever. So Blue's like, I mean, I would volunteer to go up, but it just wouldn't make sense for you to put me up there, right? Because they're banging. Yeah, it's easy to say when you know that there's no way that you would actually be going up. Like, I would totally volunteer, but like, no way. So then Jared, after this conversation, is back to thinking, you know what? America should go up. But just as a pawn, right? Red is still the target. We'll tell America this is how she can prove herself to us. This is how she can build trust with us. After he just told her she's safe for the week. All right. Meanwhile, Cirie is smoothing things over with America, right? Because America apparently overheard some conversation with Cirie, Felicia, and Mimi saying that America should go up. So Cirie's like, I want you to know, I was just telling Jared that he should put up Bowie, not you. Which is true. She just did tell Jared that he should put up Bowie, but like, she's definitely dropped America's name a few times. So Cirie says Bowie has been close with Red and Cameron this whole time, and it just wouldn't make sense to put up someone from our alliance, the For Real, as a replacement nominee. So again, Cirie is telling America, we were not suggesting you as a replacement. Yeah, at this moment. So America's talking about how she feels like she's on the outskirts of that For Real alliance. And because she is. And Cirie is like, no, we want you to fully be a part of this alliance. Come talk to me more. Like, let's get this going. Yeah. So after Felicia and Mimi also clear the air with America, and they're pushing that they want Bowie to go up on the block. But it's funny because as they're saying this, Jared like no longer feels that way, and he is talking about putting America up. So then a little later, things briefly take a left turn. Izzy mentions to Cirie that Matt volunteered to be a pawn. Did he really? Yikes. This was a little bit confusing because I thought Izzy said that he volunteered to be a pawn next to Cameron. Like it was a beginning of the week thing, not like this exact situation. So I don't know what's going on here, but she's saying he volunteered to be a pawn. So Cirie's like, oh, okay, cool. Like that's probably the best option then. We're going to vote out Red, so we don't have to worry about Matt being in danger. And since he volunteered, putting him up would be the path of least resistance, right? Jared doesn't have to piss anybody else off by putting them up. Okay. So, like I said, this is short-lived because the 7 deadly sins meet up in the HOH room not long after, and that's again Cirie, Izzy, Felicia, Jared, Matt, Blue, and Jag. So Cirie, at this point, she dropped the whole Matt thing, maybe because he's in there, I don't know. But Cirie says Bowie should go up since she is so tight with Cameron and Red. Right, we're back on Bowie now. And there's lots of like, yes, I agree with this. I think this is the smartest thing. We're gonna vote out Red. And they feel like Bowie is the best option to be the pawn. Cirie says America will go berserk if you put her up on the block, right? She's going to lose it. She's going to be pissed. And she could potentially win a competition and come after Jared. But Jared is so nervous that Bowie is going to win HOH and have an easy reason to put him up on the block. I don't get how he's more afraid of Bowie in competitions than America, because America has proven she's pretty good. She's a pretty good competitor. I freaking wish Bowie would win HOH, though, and put up Jared. That'd be great. So Felicia says, no, Bowie Jane is not going to win next week. She's so certain of it. She's like, that's my piece. I'm leaving, right? She doesn't want their alliance to be up there all together too long, so she's out of there. But she also did say that Cameron wasn't going to win Power Veto this week, and she was, like, insisting it. Okay, anyway, while this meeting was happening, breaking news, Red was breaking up with Cameron out by the hot tub area. So they're talking about how there's a lot of weird shit going on. Cameron says, well, there shouldn't be any weird shit between the two of us. You know where my head and my heart is, and there ain't nothing bigger than me and you, baby. I added on the baby part, but yeah. He said there's nothing bigger in here than me and you. And Cameron's like, you see America going around crying? Because America was crying that day after a conversation with Jared. Cameron says she's crying because I've been working on getting her nominated so that we can both stay this week. So Cam asks Red, what's wrong? You know, you seem down, bud. Like, what's going on here? And Red's like, it's been a bad week. So Cameron's like, is it personal for you? Or like, is this a between you and me and here kind of thing? And Red says, it's a little bit of both, I reckon. And Cameron's like, well, do you need to fill me in on something? Like, I don't know what's going on here. Red was being very ambiguous during this whole conversation. And Red is like, well, you should. You should know what's going on here. You should. He doesn't want to elaborate on it right now. But he does tell Cameron it's not just one thing. Now, keep in mind, Red was told earlier this week that Cameron was throwing him under the bus and saying that he would be fine going up as a pawn next to Red with Red as a target. So, yeah, Red is saying it's not just one thing, but he says, I suppose it's a bit serendipitous that we're in this pool where the chillers, that's what they were calling themselves, started. Because I reckon we're going to have to put it on ice. What a line. So Cameron's like, what? I don't know what I did. And Red says, you told a lot of people a lot of things, and I think you're just kind of digging yourself a deeper hole here. So Cameron is still playing clueless. He's like, I don't know what I did, but I'm going to give you your space because clearly, you know, that's what you want right now. Aw, chill, Billies. All right. So anyway, later, Cameron is pitching to Jared, and Cameron, again, is pushing for Jared to make a big move and to put up Izzy. We saw him making the same pitch a few nights ago, and he's saying Izzy is the motor that's running everything, and she's always running her mouth. I mean, she is always running her mouth, but, like, he's just blinded by that. Cirie missed. How do you not see that Cirie is the motor? Cirie is the mastermind here, but he's not picking up on that, and he thinks it's Izzy. So he says if you take Izzy out, the rest of that group, like Cirie, Felicia, they're going to be sitting ducks, and we can go after them next. So after, of course, Jared's not doing this, but after Jared spills Cameron's pitch to Felicia, Felicia is freaking fired up about it. But, you know, they can't get Cameron out this week. There's nothing they can do about that. So focusing on this week, Felicia is now pitching for Jag to go up as the replacement nominee. I thought it was Bowie. Like, what's going on here? They're all over the place. So Felicia says Jag is doing too much. She's worried that he's trying to build an alliance to target their group. She's worried that he's going to try and team up with Cameron if he stays. They were noticing that Jag has been having long conversations with Red, with Cameron, like, what's going on here? And Felicia says, Red, if he stays, he's not a threat without Cameron. And even though Cameron can't be evicted this week, he won the power veto, Red and Cameron don't seem to be working together anymore, right? Everybody's heard about this breakup, and Felicia feels like Red will be loyal to them. I could see these two making up in like 5 minutes. Are you kidding me? Come on now. Just because they're not getting along right now doesn't mean they're not going to get back together. So another strike here against Jag. Red shared with Cirie, Felicia, and Bowie all about his long-ass conversation that he had with Jag the other night. Remember, we talked about this? Red was like making fudge in the kitchen, and Jag was like trying to have a kind of like a clear up conversation with him. Like, I'm not targeting you. Like, we don't need to target each other, blah, blah, blah. And then he just like kept going and going and going and spilling his guts and his whole entire game to Red. Yeah. Well, Red is bringing all this info out now. Ooh. So yeah, Red says Jag was telling me that you guys are running the house and he can't trust you because of what happened with the vote. And also he was trying to get an alliance going with me to go against you guys. Uh-oh. So yeah, by the end of Saturday night, Jag was set to be both the renom and the target, but there was still a whole day and a half before the veto ceremony. So yesterday, Sunday, there were lots more discussions about their placement nominee. We're not going to get into all of them because it's pointless. Cirie, Izzy, and Felicia, they were pushing hard for Jag to go. Corey was pushing back. Corey does not want Jag to go. Corey's like, what about Red? Why are we leaving Red in this house? He said, if our ultimate goal is to take out Cameron, then Red needs to go, right? Because even if Red and Cameron are not directly working together, there's a chance that Red is not going to put Cameron up on the block. And he's also not totally buying that Red and Cameron really broke up, right? There is the thought maybe this was like a fake fight, which it wasn't, but there is that chance. They're thinking, and maybe they're just trying to play us here so that they can both survive the week, right? We've seen people try to stage fights before, and it's usually pretty lame, and it usually doesn't work. But Corey says if Jag stays and wins HOH, he would put up Cameron and Bowie, and that's what we want. All right. Matt is also wanting to keep Jag this week, and Red, right? He does not want Jag going up as the replacement. He wants America to go up and out. I swear, if this is just because Riley told him not to trust America, I'm going to scream. Stop taking advice from someone who was evicted week 2. Move on with your game. Okay, but anyway, I'm sure there's other reasons too. But Matt feels that Jag owes him, right? Because Matt used the power of invincibility on Jag. He saved his life in this game. So he feels like moving forward, he should be able to control Jag, influence his moves. So he really feels like he can work with both Jag and Red moving forward. So that's why he wants America out. So the more people are trying to keep Jag, so far we've got Matt, Red, Bowie, Corey, Blue. They all want to keep Jag around. The more Cirie is hearing this, the more she wants Jag to go. Because she's realizing, whoa, a lot of people want to work with Jag. He's kind of the glue that could be holding a new group together. We got to get him out of here, right? Especially now that she's hearing that he was trying to set something up with Red, and he is not happy with Cirie and her crew for voting him out last week. So then last night, Jag gathered the 7 deadly sins in the HOH for another meeting. And the meeting started with Jag pledging his allegiance to the alliance. He's like, I want to be able to look you guys in the eyes and tell you I am 100% with the 7. This is my squad. I'm not working with anyone else. I know there's been some rumors going around. I'm not working with Cameron. And I hope that we can all trust each other and move forward together. That's going to be a no from them, dog. So eventually, they start talking about the replacement nominee and their options, and Blue suggests, she's like, Jag, don't hate me, but if you went up on the block as a pawn, it'll hide that we're all working together. Oh my God. So she's like throwing her ally under the bus here. Jag is supposed to be Blue's #1 ally, and she's suggesting that he go up on the block. Like, what? So everybody's acting like Red would be the target. We know he's not. But Jag's like, I don't know. I really don't want to be a pawn. But they're all reassuring him the votes are there to keep him. And it's going to really do a lot for him in this game. It's going to look like a good faith move. It'll help Jared with Cameron because Jared can go to Cameron and say, look, I'm putting up the guy that you wanted out last week, and we're going to take him out with 10-0 vote, just like you wanted. Why would you do something to help Jared? But anyway, Jag eventually agrees to go up on the block. He says, I'm a team player, and if this is what you guys want, let's do it. He just gave him permission like that. What? What are you doing? All right, so today they had the power veto ceremony. Cameron used the power veto on himself, of course, and then Jared put up Jag in his place. So we, with his permission, we have Jag versus Red on the block. As of now, Jag is the target, but you know there are going to be a million talks about this vote, flip-flopping back and forth leading up to Thursday. Jag seems to believe he's just a pawn. He's talking about moving forward with the 7, even after the POV ceremony. I believe the 7 deadly sins are lying to Matt right now because Matt does not want Jag to go. Matt is under the impression that Red is going this week. And I mean, he could end up going, right? This is going to go back and forth so many times. I don't know if I'm ready for it. But anyway, it's up in the air. It could be Red or Jag leaving this week. We'll see what happens. But let me know who you would rather see leave this week. Hello. Hi, Bowie. Bowie said it's so hot.
Hi.
Hello and welcome.
It's actually cooler in here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I want to thank today's super chatters because you guys are awesome and we really appreciate it. Instead of Waffle Wednesday, it's going to be a whole waffle week for sure. Mary Ellen L., thank you so much for the super chat and the kitty cat. Korean Australian Saibong's online farm. Online fam. I thought that was an R, but it was an M with like the 3. It was a cursive M. Online
Farm
fam.
would be pretty cool too.
It would be.
Farm fam.
Yeah. Survivors. Thank you for your super chat, first of all. And they said Survivor season 34, episode 10. Jared was Cerie's loved one visitor. Yeah, I saw that. I'm pretty sure I watched that at the time, but I also saw screen caps reminding us that he was her loved one.
I'm surprised then that Corey, being such a big fan of Cerie, wouldn't have.
I know, but you can't remember every little detail.
Why not?
I mean, some people probably can, but they said, I didn't know that. Love your work, Maddie. Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty wild, right? How many years ago was that? I think he was like a teenager when that happened, right?
What's
Probably 34?
So like 5 years ago?
I'm not sure.
Or
Everything
6
is all
years ago,
messed up
COVID.
from COVID. It's hard
Yeah.
to remember what season was when, but yeah, it's pretty wild. Thank you again so much. Alex Paredes, thank you so much for the super chat. We really appreciate that. And he says, rooting for America. Woo! Yeah, I'd like to see America win a competition here.
Mark.
Yes. She is actually like ready to shake things up, right? Not many people in that house are. True Teddy, thank you so much. And they said, happy for your mental health. You take Sunday off, right? But worried about you when you try to catch up. I missed 3 hours of feed and the house flips 20 times. I know. Mondays are a freaking struggle, especially this season.
Struggle Monday.
Yeah. So I'm sorry if I have to gloss over things on Mondays and, you know, kind of not get as in depth with everything, but trying to catch up on Saturday night and all of Sunday is like, but honestly, it's worth it because I need those Sundays. I can't do it every single day. It's just too much. Done it for so many years and I can't do that anymore. But thank you. And we have another one from Korean Australian Sibongs. Is it Sibong or Sibong? Online fam.
Or is it Seabong?
It might be Sibong. Yeah. Found out Paramount offers Canadian Big Brother past seasons. We'll watch because of Maddie and Janet's recaps. My entertainment for the winter is set. Lol. Yeah. Thanks again so much.
Well,
and I hope you enjoy.
In advance for that one season where you were working on the movie and I had to take over.
You still did a good job. No, you did a good
No,
job.
I didn't.
You had a rough deal with that season because it wasn't great. Maybe skip BB Can 7. Just saying. But thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy BB Can because it is a lot of fun. So thank you all so much for being here. We really, really appreciate it. It's been a rough week, but we're trying to get through it, right? So thank you again. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Labor Day. And we'll be back for more tomorrow. So until next time, much love. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.